So why do stories matter? They've shaped how we interact with the world for thousands of years. Yet, we rarely ask why. Why are they so connected to everything we do? From myth to movies to games, stories are more than entertainment. They're how we make sense of chaos, connect with others, and understand ourselves. For me, it started around the third or fourth grade when I told my first stories, and I don't mean the first words I spoke or first sentences I wrote. I mean the first time I realized that stories could shape how people see the world. At the time, I didn't think very much of it, but it was clearly the catalyst of something that I would learn much later in life, and it's that stories hold an immense importance in human existence. Stories help us map out and navigate our way through the chaos of life, turning random events into something significant and pushing us to persevere through things that seem inescapable. We see this done in many ancient myths and fables. From tales of monsters in forests to warnings of hubris, stories have always been our guides. And while maybe not holding the same power as myth, modern media serves this purpose in many ways, bringing forth lessons and introspective questions. A great example of this can be found in the Witcher series, where Geralt's journey is morally great in many aspects. Many decisions he makes to help someone often have negative consequences for some other groups, teaching us that even when we do our best, things don't always get a positive outcome. This reminds me of a quote by philosopher Hannah Arendt, where she says, "Storytelling reveals meaning without the error of defining it." We constantly do this with stories, maybe subconsciously, where a situation in a story parallels something we're going through. So we deal with a situation without actually having to confront our actual demons. Another lesson we get from stories is that meaning isn't just restrained to plan working flawlessly. It's in exploration, the detours, and the continuous failures that the true story is told. This lesson rings true to real life. There isn't one moment that gives us meaning. There's no snapshot of our life that will tell a stranger who we were. But stories don't just help us make sense of life. They connect us to something bigger. Stories aren't just about us. They create a bridge between groups of people across cultures and even time. They let us step into someone else's shoes, feel their emotions, and understand their world. A great way to practice using stories as a tool for connection is through tabletop games such as D&D, where we accomplish tasks and practice real-life teamwork. This ability that D&D has of giving us this connection by not feeding us answers and just letting us explore as a group and overcome challenges together helps us with the way we communicate and deal with social stressors. In a way, stories are paradoxical this way since they allow us to create strong connections while simultaneously allowing us an escape route from daily issues that we can't handle, allowing us to run through strange lands where we can imagine who we could be. In a world that often feels chaotic and problematic, stories offer us a way to step back, reflect, and find meaning. Now, this doesn't have to be either or. A game called Skyrim did this for me.
What is better, to be born good or to overcome your evil nature through great effort?
This dialogue stuck with me in a way that's somewhat difficult to describe. I believe here lies the power of stories. They offer a rescue from chaos while reflecting the challenges we face, helping us process emotions from a safe distance. Our time spent as a hero in a game, following the Fellowship in their journey to destroy the One Ring, or sitting with a group of people throwing dice and telling stories helps us process emotions we can't always face head on. While interacting with stories, we encounter many characters, fake and real. Regardless if we agree with their reasoning and motives, it's a great exercise to try and see things through their point of view. What drove them to create these systems of belief? Moreover, stories force us to ask ourselves, what would we do in their shoes? If we experienced their level of hardship, would we make the same choices or would we be better? Beyond escape and reflection, stories shape the narratives we tell ourselves about who we are and who we can become. Perhaps the most important stories are the ones we tell ourselves, since these have the power to shape how we see the world and our place in it. Even things we say in passing eventually become beliefs, and this internal reality affects how we act towards the world. A way I have seen this a lot is how many people tell themselves they can't accomplish something. Maybe they're bad at math, and once that narrative sets in, it becomes self-fulfilling prophecy. Video games, as an interactive form of media, do an excellent job at showing us progress. Maybe we aren't great at beating a boss, but we keep going. We level up, get new weapons and skills, and situations that seem dreadfully insurmountable become another fun exploration. Life is not all that different, just without the visual progress bars. We are consistently getting skills and leveling up in different areas of our lives. We just don't notice at the moment. When we start a new job, we are surrounded by strangers. We get anxious about all these new rules. But before we even know it, it becomes second nature. So what's a story you tell yourself about your abilities? Has it helped you grow or held you back? So why do I believe that storytelling will always matter? That first story I told wasn't just a moment of childhood imagination. It was my first step into understanding the world and my place in it. It taught me telling stories, because stories are how we grow, connect, and ultimately live. Stories are how we navigate chaos, build empathy, and find meaning in the mundane. They remind us of who we are and who we can become, not just as individuals, but as a. We'll keep telling stories because we need them. We need them to survive, grow, and live. So, viewer, I ask you, what's a story, real or fictional, that shaped how you see the world? Let me know in the comments. And remember, every story matters, including yours.